Yo, what's up, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you know what they all say, man. I appreciate the subscribe. We're building up, we're growing. Thank you to everyone that subscribed recently. I'm not taking my foot off the gas. Anyways, today we got the vocal tutorial for YNW Melly, specifically on the song Suicidal. So if you want to learn how to mix like YNW Melly, let's check it out. Alright, first things first, I will play you the original song so we can hear what we're going for.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
Okay, cool. For some reason the song is in mono. I don't know if it's just this version or if there's like a file issue or what happened, but it was in mono. But yeah, so other than that, pretty nice, soul trappy style vocal effect. Now I'll play you the raw vocal so you can hear what we're starting with here.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave you all my ecstasy.
Alright, cool. Now I'll play you my mix so you can hear how I got it to sound.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave you all my.
Alright, so if you want to get that, let's jump into it one by one. So I got a pretty crazy chain for this one. I had to do a lot. So it looks crazy, but I promise I only do a little bit in each plugin. A few of them I'm doing pretty heavy-handed, I'm not going to lie this time, but guys, that's what it takes sometimes. You know, some of the best engineers in the world, they'll use a lot of processing, especially between in the box and out of the box. It's just what it takes, whatever it takes to get the job done. Alright, first, like we always do, auto tune. I got low mail, A minor, 8 retune speed, 40 flex tune, 3 on the natural vibrato, no humanize. Let's peep it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made.
Just auto tune. And the plugin after this one, we're gonna get our gains. We'll be able to hear it. Sorry about that. Okay. Next plugin, Fab Filter Pro Q3, a little EQ here. I got a 12 dB per octave slope up to 182. I got a cut at 313 for 2.25 dBs. I got a cut at 550 for 4.5 dBs. 2318, I took out 2.7. At 3600, I took out 4.37 dBs and another 3.85 dynamic. And then a first time here, something that we don't usually do, but this is what the vocal had. It had a high cut or a low pass filter at 15,387 hertz, 24 dBs per octave. We're removing the highs to give it that filtered out dull sound. So let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made.
Okay, then we went into the Waves CLA 76, Bluey setting, ratio 8, release of 7, attack of 3. There's the input and output, but watch the needle.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Alright, then we went into the Overloud Gem Comp LA. You can use any LA2A emulation like the Waves CLA 2A. I turned the harmonics up a little bit to get some more saturation from the compressor. There's the gain and the peak reduction, but that's completely dependent on where you are gain staging wise. Turn the output out to match, but really watch the needle. And if you use a different LA2A, adjust the peak reduction so that your needle kind of does a similar amount of movement as this one.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
Okay, cool. Then I went into the Kazrog True Iron. I'm on the 108X voicing, 0.1 crush. Nothing else was touched.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Little analog saturation, very subtle. Then I went into the Slate Digital Fresh Air, Mid Air 7, High Air is 12. Some saturation, let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Then I went into the Fab Filter Saturn 2. No bands, just broad spectrum. Clean tube, 9.8% drive. Dynamics is 0.068. Mix is at 13.76. Let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Okay, and then I went into the Isotope Ozone 9 Exciter. If you have a different version of Ozone, that's cool. This one works for me. Haven't used this really much, but I've been doing them for the tutorials lately. It comes in clutch when you need it. So I got just a band from 5.4K and up. I'm not saturating anything below that. I'm using the warm setting, 85% mix, with the amount at 7.7, just to get the highs that we needed saturated here.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
Cool. I never know what I'm supposed to do when I'm playing it. Like, am I supposed to dance, sing? I don't know. All right, Waves, VEQ4. Got a little heavy-handed here. So on the low frequency, I turned it to a bell filter. At 330, I'm taking out 1.2 decibels. Then for the low mid filter, at 1K, I'm adding 3.1 decibels, but I activated the high Q knob there, setting. Then for the high mid filter at 1.8K, I got 2.3 decibels. Then for the high shelf, I turned it into a bell and I added 0.6 dBs at 4.7. I turned off the analog, which I have on by default with my default setting. Yours might be off by default, but it's off, and the output is pulled down by 0.3. It's the first time I believe ever I've used this plugin and used every band on it, but I used it for the tone and kind of resculpted the vocal because this vocal is very mid forward. The highs are cut. It's pretty well low passed or low cut, whatever. There's not a lot of highs, there's not a lot of lows, but there's a lot of mids. All right, so I'm trying to say. Let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
So that was the real tone shaping there. Then I went into the Fab Filter Pro MB multiband compressor. You can use a different one. I'm using 2 bands of multiband compression. The first band is from 261-ish up to 1425. Here's my settings. You can copy them. I'm just doing some compression, but then compensating the gain there to once again push the mids forward, but in a controlled way, not in an EQ-y way where it's static. This is like pushing it forward, but it's pulling it back when it's too much. And then the next band from 1425 up to 6559, my upper mids. Doing some more compression. There's the settings there if you want to copy them. It's too much to say out loud. Saves us both some time. Pause it and copy it. So let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
Cool. Then I went into the Waves MV2, 2.2 on the low level, negative 1.1 on the high level, and pulled it down by 0.2 dBs for the output. Speed.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
All right, Waves. Fab Filter Pro Q3 again. Mangled it here. Had to do some crazy stuff to get the sound. This was a unique vocal sound. I had to be done, guys. Only do this. No, I'm just kidding. But only do this. You're an expert. Don't try this at home. No, I'm just kidding. But this is crazy. All right, this is crazy. I'll admit it. But it had to be done. Like, it sounds good. All right. This is what we had to work with. So at 836, I'm cutting out 3.2 dBs. At 1637, I'm cutting out 3.5 dBs. At 2470, I took out 0.83 dBs and another 2.38 dBs dynamic. At 3620, I took out about 3 dBs and another 4 dBs dynamic. At 5229, I took out a dB and a half, and then I got a high shelf, very weird angle. I've never had to do this before. 8393. There's taking out 7.38 decibels, but here's the settings if you want to copy that exact slope. I just had to roll off more highs. Something was up with the song. There's no highs. I don't know if it was a stylistic choice or what. I didn't really notice it when I first listened to the song, but then when I went with the engineer ears to mix it, I was like, that's strange, but it sounds cool, so let's peep.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
So there you go. That's kind of, the vocal's almost like a telephone effect. It's very telephonic. It's very mid-rangey. All right. Overloud Gem Dopamine. Here's the settings. Just a little bit of wet for the highs that we just cut, strangely enough. Looks like a little sliver of compression. Nope, no compression. And I just pulled the level down a little to match. So just some wet and some level down.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. All
right, we're almost done here. Getting there, I promise. Fab Filter Pro C2. The reason I use this here is for this bottom portion down here that looks like the EQ. I was able to push the mids for the compressor so it can compress the mids, react a little differently. I really needed to compress those mids in a way to smooth things out. So the threshold up here, negative 9.57, 4 ratio on opto, 0.14 millisecond attack, 277.7 millisecond release. I got the auto gain on, but you don't have to do that. And then down here are the settings for the sidechain filter. I guess this is what the name of it is. The sidechain filter. Here's the settings for it. You can copy that. And then I turned it up by 0.91 on the master gain to compensate for that. So let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave.
All right. Last plugin, I needed another compressor. I needed to compress it more. You got a lot of compressors here, but this honestly in rap and modern music, it's not that uncommon to use this many compressors, especially when they're just doing a few dBs each. Like modern music in like pop, rap, trap, these kind of styles are very, very compressed. So, yeah, don't be afraid. If it needs it, it needs it. Not saying it always will, but clearly this one did. All right, threshold is negative 13.3, but that's context dependent. Ratio is 2.31. Attack of 8.16. Release 38.5. I'm on ARC, Electro, Warm. And then I just added some gain of 1.8 dBs to level match. Let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
All right, cool. And then what I did was I made a group so that all of these effects plus the sends that I'm about to show you would be processed under this group. And all I did was add a gain plugin and turn the mono on. Basically, what I was doing that for is I wanted all of my vocal with effects and sends and everything to be mono, and I figured I could just do it in one step by just turning it mono at the final stage on this group, because the song is in mono for some reason. If you want to skip this step, I would honestly probably recommend that, but this is what the vocal had. But anyways, now let's go to my sends. First send at negative 21.9. We got the Manny Marroquin reverb. I use a lot of the same plugins, guys. If you guys are watching and you own these plugins, sponsor me. Come on. I'm just playing. But for real, hit me up. All right, Manny Marroquin reverb. Room, small. Time is 100%, where it should, starts, the default. Pre-delay at 2. Compression's 27.7. Highs 11.7. Mids 11.8. Lows 17.7. What else we got? Distortion 2.3. That's it. Let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Okay, next send is negative 17.3. Valhalla Vintage Verb. This is our most noticeable reverb here in this effect. Started with the default settings, changed some things. Here you can see, we got the Hall, the 2.170K. 16 millisecond attack. Everything's there if you want to copy it. I really shaved off the highs and the lows. It's a very mid-focused Hall reverb because this vocal was very mid-forward. So let's hear it.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
All right, next end, negative 20.1. I got the Seventh Heaven from Liquid Sonics. On the London plate setting, not sure what I changed. I know I changed the low cut and high cut once again to be mid forward. Added some VLF, and the early late reflections were adjusted. No delay, no pre-delay. And then I needed to EQ it a little bit more specifically. So on the next slot on that send, I got a FabFilter Pro Q3 because it's on a send. I threw that puppy in linear phase mode, and I just got a bell at 559. Taking out 3.5 dBs. So let's hear this reverb.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made.
All right, cool. Then the final send here, negative 27.7, is the delay. It's a 3 plugin chain to get this sound. I use the stock Logic tape delay. You can use any delay. It's nothing crazy. It's very subtle in the background. It's a half note delay if your tempo is 140. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's a nice half note delay. I got the feedback at 21%. Wet is 100% because it's on a send. Really all I did was shave off the lows below 310 and the highs above 4700. Then I needed some reverb on the delay, but I didn't want to put it on a send because I kind of wanted to put it in the background more and blend it with a wet dry instead of adding it on. So I think that's a little different, the way that it sounds when I do it this way. I got the vintage Verb here with most of the same settings as we have on our Send, but I changed the mix knob. It might have changed some other things, but it's there if you want to see it. I don't remember. Then I went into the stock Logic filter, the auto filter. You can use an EQ and shave off the highs. You can use any filter plugin. Nothing crazy. I don't think I changed any. I think this is all the default. At least it is for my default. I don't think I ever changed it. All I did was change the cutoff to 85%. It's basically just filtering the layout, making it filtered. And in the background, I don't know how else to describe it. It's kind of like a shaving off the highs is what it sounds like. So let's hear that delay and with the whole mix here.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave you all.
Okay, cool. Now what I'll do is I'll play the raw vocal again so we can hear what we started with.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed.
Bat. Now what I'll do is I will play you the original compared to mine. I'll A-B them back and forth in real time so we can hear them side by side, starting with the original.
I thought that we were meant to be. You took my heart and made it bleed. I gave you all my ecstasy. I know you'll be the death of me.
There you have it, guys. YNW Melly, Suicidal, vocal tutorial, how you get the chain and the effects. If you don't have some of these plugins, you can substitute them with something different. Get a similar style, make it work for you. But that's the general gist of it, how you sound like YNW Melly, and I feel like that will work for a lot of that style of music. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, name your firstborn child after me, all of that. I really appreciate it. Check out my description. Tap in with me on Instagram. Say what's up on the gram, something like that. TikTok. I've been trying to grind. You guys know how it is. Say what's up. I'll follow you guys back. What else? If you need mixing, mastering, come on. I'm your dude. If you need custom templates or pre-made templates, I got that as well. It's all in the description, all on my website. Say what's up, man. Anyways, this one's been long enough. My name is Inswain with Inswain Audio. Peace.